Good afternoon, everybody. It's Jeremy Medeiros here and JP Ruja behind the camera. We're both out on Nonsuch Island on Saturday, the 24th of April, Earth Week. We celebrate Earth Day, of course, but really Earth Week is part of the thing. And really for us, we live it, so every day is Earth Day for us and everything. And it really should be for everybody as well. Because we do, after all, depend on the planet for our own survival. It's been a while since we've done a check, and he's been fed several times by both parents over the last several nights, so I'll be very interested to see what weight he is now and such. Bermuda is still in lockdown. We're slowly coming out of it, but things have been fairly dire here with COVID and such, so we're all masked up. I think we've both been vaccinated now, so we're trying to take every precaution and everything, including, wearing masks when we're handling the birds and such. All right, so let's take a look and see how our little chickie is. Okay. Oh boy, he certainly feels robust. Okay, yeah, he feels really good and fat, as you would expect. He was fed by the female on 3 out of the last 5 nights, by the male on a couple of those nights as well. One night both of them visited within minutes of each other. Is still fairly small. Is one of the youngest chicks on Nonsuch. We have 13 chicks on Nonsuch, 71 on all of the nesting islands, so that's the second highest number of chicks we've ever had. But he is one of the younger ones, and so he hasn't reached full size yet, which will be the size of a large cantaloupe. But he or she is quite fat. It'll be really hard to assign a sex to it yet, because I do that mainly on the basis of bill shape and size, and that really doesn't become evident until the last couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks before they fledge. This chick is not quite at the half-fledged stage. It's about between a third and half-fledged. You can see the wings are growing. The feathers, the primaries, are just starting to emerge from the feather sheaths, and it just shows that feathers really are just modified scales, and you can really see that in the sheaths. It's like a soda straw, and the end splits open. Yeah, they don't like it to be handled when it's there, and then the feathers come out of the ends of that. So it's a fascinating thing to see happening. Even this down, those are modified scales, highly modified scales. And we know now that most of the the carnivorous dinosaurs in the late dinosaur era were feathered, at least when they were young, because they not only helped provide insulation and warmth, but they presumably also had other functions, and with the birds they developed to the point where they can fly, and that's what gave them their advantage and kept them from going extinct when all of the other large dinosaurs did. So I'll be very interested to see what he is now, because on the last check, I believe it was 317 grams. Well, it's well over that now. 350, 60, 70, 370 exactly. So that minus the weight of the bag. Yep, 370. So minus the weight of the bag, that's 350, 347 grams. Yeah, so that's really good. 347 grams. That's the heaviest this chick has been. That is what I would call a good, normal, weight for a chick at this stage of development. Average to above average, slightly above average. Generally, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, this is when this chick will peak in weight, from about half-fledged to 2/3 fledged. And then in the final few weeks of their development, they actually have to shed a lot of that baby fat It gets converted into energy for growing wings and bone and muscle tissue, and the bird will go from a peak of over 400 grams sometimes down to about 265 to about 290 grams when it fledges. So the next thing I'm going to do is take a look, at the wing cord. That's the outer wing length, of course, which is a very good indication of the stage of development. Yeah, this chick is much less developed than most of the other ones because it's younger. But you can see those little primary feathers, the main flight feathers, starting to emerge from the sheaths. And you get the end of the longest one, so it's over 100 millimeters already, 102.5 millimeters. So, yep, he has reached a milestone with 100. It will have to be about 260 to 275 millimeters when it's got a fledge. So it's still got a long way to go. But it's now at the point, if it gets fed regularly, this chick, the wing feathers, the wings will grow at the rate of about a centimeter every 2 days, about 5 to 6 millimeters a day. And that'll be for like the final 5 or 6 weeks of its development. Those wings will just relentlessly grow faster than any other part of its body. And they have to, because those wings are absolutely essential for this bird being able to survive. They've got to put a lot of energy and resources into it. It's certainly it's a very, I don't know, it's got real character, this chick. I love it. It's still a little nervous. They tend to get more and more curious as they get older, but it's still a little bit young. So you can see the bill is still quite small. It's impossible to tell. It looks kind of delicate. I mean, it's possible this might be a female bird, but it really is way too early to tell. Probably in the next 3 weeks or so, I'd be able to get a better idea of if this is a male or a female chick. You can see these lovely webbed feet, which are almost full size. They're the first part of a cow chick's body to reach adult size. They're essentially adult size now, because of course they have to, waddle around the nest and dig and such like that. And that's in common with most seabirds, is that their feet and legs will develop first, and then the rest of their body, and the wings keep developing right up until they fledge to sea, and in fact continue a little bit after they fledge. They reach, the wings don't reach full size, full wingspan until like a couple of months after they fledge. But they do have to grow to a certain degree to fledge. I was just trying to get a little bit of down, but yeah, I don't want to get them any nervous or anything like that. Okay, but it's looking good. Generally a good, healthy, heavy chick. It's been fed very well by both parents. They're both doing their bit. The female, even with her, damaged foot, is still really doing well. She's, both of them are troopers. They're one of the best pairs here on Nonsuch Island. And they've produced, this is their 10th chick in 12 years of breeding. They're one of the oldest pairs, one of the very first pairs to set up. You see how he's using his beak and his feet to climb up on my legs. This is trying, he's adventurous, look at that. That's how he'll use those skills when he's better developed and he starts coming out of the nest at night to climb up trees and vegetation and rocks, and you, if you're sitting there, he'll climb right up you to your head and look around and exercise from the top there. Probably leave you with a little present. But yeah, they're remarkably agile compared to a tropic bird or a longtail, which almost are helpless on land. They can hardly walk at all. These guys are very agile and can climb trees and vegetation. Even at this young age, he shouldn't be able to, but yep, he's found a much more comfortable place to sit in the crook of my arm here. Okay, well, I'm going to put him back now. He's looking excellent. It's getting a little restless. It's funny. It's like they're curious up to a point, and then it's like, okay, I'm ready to go back now. So, yeah, this is great on Earth Week. Looking at all of the chicks here in Nonsuch and some of the other islands, they've done really well. They're being fed well. We had one chick that's 506 grams on one of the other smaller nesting islands. So most of them are in the mid 300 gram range now, but this guy is one of them. Okay, so we're going to put him back now. Make sure that some of the spider webs are gone. All right, well, at this point in the 2021 Cahal breeding season, looks like we have the second highest number of chicks. We have at least 71 chicks. There might be 72, but at this point it looks like 71. We have a record number of breeding pairs, 142. Most of the chicks are nearing or at the half-fledged stage, so they're about 6-7 weeks old at this point. Some of the younger ones, like that's a week or two younger, like the Cahal Cam chick. But generally everything is doing well. We've had extremely stormy weather. Beautiful days like this have been few and far between, actually. Even when it looks nice and sunny, often on the other side of Nonsuch is blowing at gale force and such. So it can be very deceptive, the view from the surface cam. And it's made it very difficult to come out here and do an adequate number of visits to monitor the growth of them and to check for problems. We've had some problems with longtails or tropic birds trying to get in some of the nests. So we've solved those problems. Everybody seems to be happy now. It's a wonderful time to reflect. As Earth Day, it's a time when we tend to look at the state of the planet, what we should be doing to help it. And please, folks, it should not just be Earth Day or Earth Week. Earth Day should be every day of the week. We, after all, live on this earth. We're dependent on this earth. We're not separate from this earth. We have not been doing a good job of taking care of it, really. There are a multitude of problems that require urgent and really, quite critical action to reverse this. We should be looking like the North American Indians did. We should be not thinking of ourselves and bettering things for ourselves necessarily as much, but for our children and grandchildren, for 7 generations more or less. Right now, we're not doing that. The planet is in crisis. Things are changing. The climate is changing. Yes, it's always changed. The problem is we are pushing it to change thousands of times greater than its normal rate. We can't cope with it. Natural, plant and animal communities and habitats can't cope with it. So please, folks, do your part. A lot of you do already, and great for you. We're going to try and do our part. We're trying to help all of these amazing creatures that live here on Nonsuch and out in the Castle Harbor Islands. Thank you for watching this and keeping track of it and such, and we hope that we're providing you with interesting information about what we do and about the life of this amazing creature, which really is a symbol of hope for the environment. This was thought to be extinct for 3.5 centuries, miraculously rediscovered, and is now making a recovery. And if there's hope for the Cahal, there's hope for everything, but we have to put in the work to protect these things. It's all up to us. It's our natural heritage, it's our survival, it's our lifeboat, and it's up to us to take good care of it. Everybody have a great Earth Week, and everybody have a great day as well. Beautiful day out in Nonsuch Island. All the best.